This one hits home. This one hits home in a very, very deep way. Van Jones, who I by no means am a fan of, he shared something with the world. Now, him and Charlie Kirk were not in the best shape before Charlie Kirk's passing. They were going at it about the Ukrainian young lady who lost her life, who was brutally murdered in Charlotte. They were going at it, but there's something in that Van Jones is about to share with the world that Charlie Kirk did to him and for him that even he was appalled by. He couldn't believe it. And I think that this speaks volumes to a lot of where we're at today and where we need to go. We are losing a lot of our brothers and sisters to miscommunication, and this miscommunication, and I just see young people going in a very crazy direction. But this is one of Charlie Kirk's biggest moral enemies, he says. And what he reveals here is absolutely big. I want you guys to take a look at this.
Hey guys, I've decided I'm going to do something. I'm going to share something personal that I wasn't sure I was going to share. But I think it's important. Charlie Kirk and I were not friends at all. In fact, the last week of his life, we were beefing hard, beefing online, beefing on air. But the day before he died, he did something that shocked me. He sent me a personal message calling for personal dialogue, wanted me to come on his show. He said we could be gentlemen together. He said we could deal with our disagreements agreeably. And in the past week and a half, just watching people talk about civil wars and censorship and all this stuff coming out of his death, I just thought it was important to let people know, don't put that on Charlie Kirk, because the last day of his life, he was reaching out to have not more censorship, more conversation, more dialogue with somebody who honestly was one of his adversaries, me. And I just want to share that with the world. And I hope that maybe it might help somebody on both sides deal with issues more like he did.
Man, I got the chills just even talking about this. I got the chills, man. I really do. Charlie Kirk literally hit this guy up. He says, "Hey, Van, I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about this issue agreeably." And he sent this literally the day before he passed away. That is one heck of thing to do by Van Jones. I got to give it to him there, because when the left is punching down, the right and the left, I'm talking about, I've never seen platforms more toxic, especially on the left. And this dude, you want to talk about one of the most hardcore liberals that there is out there, Van Jones, he just shared something that is, this is huge. This is huge, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is huge. And I'm gonna explain to you why. But he also went on CNN on his own show and spoke to Anderson Cooper. He spoke to him, and he's basically now on CNN, basically showing the world, this is what this guy tried to do before he passed, before he was murdered brutally for his opinions. As a liberal, I am showing you the world that he wanted me on his show. Here we go. Let's get through this.
The story begins when a Ukrainian woman was fatally stabbed last month in North Carolina. The suspect is a black man, and Charlie Kirk and Van got into a public sparring match online. Kirk claimed the murder happened because she was white. Van denounced that as completely unfounded. Kirk then sent out what Van calls a fire hose of tweets challenging his argument, which Van says sparked death threats against him. In the midst of all of this, Kirk reached out to Van in a direct message on X. "Hey, Van, I mean it. I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about the issues agreeably." Now, that message was sent on September 9th. Van says he did not see it until the very next day after Kirk was murdered. Van Jones just wrote a piece about this for CNN.com and is here tonight. I mean, this is extraordinary. So this was received the day before he was killed.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we were beefing. We were
going at it online, on air. And then after he died, after he was murdered, my team called and said, Van, he was trying to reach you, man. What? And what was he doing? Dialogue. Let's be gentlemen together. He says, let's disagree agreeably. So I'm sitting on this and I'm watching the whole country talk about civil war, censorship, justifying murder about this guy. This guy is reaching out to his mortal enemy saying, we need to be gentlemen, sit down together and disagree agreeably. And the next day he's killed. And I've sat on it long enough and I just said, you know what? We're going to Memorial Weekend for this man. We disagree. Everybody knows we were not friends, okay, at all. But you praise the good when it's time to memorialize somebody. And what he did, and I didn't even know it, was good. He was not for censorship. He was not for civil war. He was not for violence. He was for dialogue, open debate and dialogue, even with me. Even with me.
Wow. Wow. So Van Jones puts it out there that on the last day of Charlie Kirk's life, he wanted friendly dialogue. He wanted to get through a lot of these issues that we have here in the United States of America. And he wanted to talk to an adversary. He wanted to talk to and debate someone again. I saw a video. I don't even want to play this video. It's a video about Charlie Kirk speaking about what may happen to someone on the right if we continue on this way. This was, I think, like on the last week of his life as well. He was talking about how if we don't have open dialogue, if we don't talk to each other, we are going to lose somebody close. He said this. I got the video. I really don't want to play that video. But he said this, and he was mentioning that, and obviously, you know, then came what happened. But we have gotten to the place in the United States of America where even Bill Maher spoke about this. The mainstream and liberal media as a whole, legacy media as a whole, news outlets mostly lean left, and they always do the shutout thing. They did the shutout thing where they live in this bubble where other ideas become they just start living in different universes. We've spoken about this on this channel before. And so what Charlie Kirk did on the last day of his life, he said, I don't live in a bubble. I want to hear what you got to say. I think we could do this friendly. I want you to come on my show, and I want to talk. What has happened in the United States of America, and has happened to me as well, is like people just stop talking to each other because of their political beliefs. Your political belief is so bad, I cannot talk to you. When you stop talking, in the words of Charlie Kirk, I'll leave you guys with this one. When the conversations stop, that's when the violence begins. This was so crazy. So crazy to see this. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So wild to see this, just because like Van Jones and Charlie Kirk were literally going at it. They were going back and forth, and that's what Charlie Kirk did. He asked him, "Hey, you know what? We're going back and forth a lot. I think you should come on my show. Let's agree to disagree respectfully." I'll tell you, man. I tell you, every day is just. And people, you know, they're like, "Why don't you stop talking about Charlie Kirk? It's over. No, you can't. What? Must be out of your mind. It must be out of your mind."